Bertie Saves the Day.
"We're booked to go on an excursion tomorrow,"
Bertie's driver told him as he put him in the garage one night. Bertie was excited. He liked running excursions. Usually, he was kept busy running passengers to the railway stations for Thomas and the other engines. An excursion run would make a nice change.
"Are they going to the seaside?"
"No,"
said his driver.
"It's a naturalist society. They want to go up into the hills to watch birds and look for rare plants, so make sure you're in good form for climbing."
But when Bertie woke the next morning, he didn't feel on good form for anything. The mechanics tried to make him feel better, but it was no good. His friend Algy had to go instead. Algy went to the place where the naturalists were waiting. They all carried picnic baskets and had binoculars hanging round their necks. They climbed aboard Algy, and with a toot, he set off for the hills. They had only gone a few miles when they had to wait at some traffic lights. Algy's engine stopped and wouldn't start again. The driver tried and tried, but he couldn't make Algy go.
"Bother,"
thought Algy.
"I don't want to let the passengers down."
But the passengers didn't mind. They laughed and offered to help start Algy's engine again by pushing him. At last, Algy started again. They drove on carefully, the driver never letting Algy's engine run slowly, and at last they reached their final destination. The naturalists all got out and went for a walk, whilst Algy's driver tried to fix him. But when the naturalists returned an hour later, Algy's driver had bad news. "I'm sorry to spoil your day, but I haven't managed to mend Algy yet. I've telephoned the garage, but Bertie still isn't better, and there's no other buses available." The naturalists felt sorry for Algy. "Why don't you have your picnic now?" the driver suggested. "If I haven't made Algy start by the time you've finished, we'll get you home some other way." So the naturalists had their picnic, but it was no use. Poor Algy felt sad. "I'm very sorry about this," he told the naturalists solemnly. "Never mind, Algy," they said cheerfully. "We'll come back when you're feeling better again." Algy's driver went to the telephone, but while he was gone, Algy and the naturalists heard a faint toot-toot in the distance. Algy grinned with delight.
"I know that toot. That's Bertie, that is."
Sure enough, a moment later, Bertie swung around the corner and pulled into the car park.
"Hop in,"
he called happily as he stopped beside them.
"You won't have a wasted day after all."
And thanks to Bertie the bus, they did it.